For almost 2 decades, they were the picture of Hollywood perfection. A love story that seemed truly unbreakable. Nicole Kidman, the Oscar-winning actress, and Keith Urban, the Grammy-winning country star, built a life that many people envied. A romance that felt both aspirational and deeply real. They'd show up on red carpets with loving gazes, gush about each other in interviews, and raise a family far from the Hollywood spotlight. By all accounts, they were a golden couple who had weathered every possible storm. But behind the staged smiles and sweet interviews, a different story was apparently unfolding. One of late nights, quiet struggles, and a supposed betrayal that would catch everyone off guard. On September 29th, 2025, the fairy tale seemed to come to an abrupt end. The news hit like a shockwave. After 19 years of marriage, it was over. The divorce papers cited irreconcilable differences, but sources close to the couple began whispering about a far more painful reason. This is the story of how late nights and mysterious absences may have led to the shocking breakdown of a Hollywood power couple. And the big question that's still hanging in the air is, did Nicole Kidman catch Keith Urban cheating? To really get what happened at the end, you have to go back to the beginning. It was January 2005 at the G'day USA Gala in Los Angeles, an event celebrating Australians in entertainment, where Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban first met. They were both at the top of their game and both from Australia. But their paths had never crossed until that night. Kidman later admitted she had a crush on him right away, but she also hilariously revealed that Urban didn't call her for 4 whole months. But once he finally did call, their romance took off. Nicole said she just knew he was the one on her 38th birthday, when he showed up on her doorstep at 5 in the morning with gardenias. That gesture pretty much sealed the deal. By May 2006, they were engaged, and just a month later, in June 2006, they got married in a beautiful candlelit ceremony in Manly, Australia, with all their friends and family. Their bond was tested almost right away. Just 4 months into their marriage, Nicole staged an intervention for Keith, who was struggling with addiction. He checked into rehab, and it was her unwavering support during that dark time that many believe made their partnership so solid. Urban himself said that meeting and marrying Nicole wasn't just life-changing. For him, it was life-beginning. For the next 18 years, they built that life together. They had 2 daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, and settled into a relatively private life in Nashville, Tennessee. They were a team, supporting each other's careers and always celebrating their love publicly. When Kidman's father passed away in 2014, Urban literally walked off stage right before a show and got on a plane just to be by her side. It was that kind of devotion that made their relationship feel so strong, so immune to the pressures that break so many other Hollywood couples. They had overcome addiction and the stress of 2 massive careers. It really felt like nothing could tear them apart. But in 2025, that story started to change. The public declarations of love seemed to slow down, and their united front began to show a few cracks. Behind the scenes, sources were claiming that trouble had been brewing for months. The story that started to emerge was one of distance, and not just emotional, but physical. With Kidman often filming on location and Urban on tour, their schedules reportedly became a huge source of strain. One insider even told the Daily Mail, "Keith never sees Nicole, either she is filming or he is on tour. The way their pairing is now, they are not a couple." Reports from outlets like TMZ claimed the couple had been living apart for months before the split was announced. Urban had allegedly moved out of their family's Nashville estate and into another place nearby. While busy schedules are normal for a power couple, other, more troubling rumours started to pop up. Tabloids and online forums went wild with talk of late nights and mysterious disappearances. The whispers grew louder, suggesting that Keith's time away from home wasn't just about work. The rumour mill kicked into high gear, fueled by unconfirmed reports linking Urban to a younger woman in the music industry. Much of the online speculation focused on his 25-year-old tour guitarist, Maggie Bohr. There were even unverified rumours of a video where Urban supposedly changed the lyrics to a song once dedicated to Nicole, and sang to Maggie instead, though no credible evidence of this video has ever surfaced. When contacted by the media, Bohr's own father gave a vague answer, saying it was more of a musician thing than a dating thing, and that he hadn't heard one way or the other, which only added more fuel to the fire. But it's important to remember these are still just unsubstantiated rumours. There has never been any public proof that Keith Urban was unfaithful. In the court of public opinion, though, the story was already taking shape. The golden couple was in trouble, and the problem went much deeper than just their schedules. Then, on September 29th, 2025, all the speculation turned into a heartbreaking fact. News broke that Nicole Kidman had filed for divorce in Nashville. The official court documents cited irreconcilable differences as the reason, a standard legal term that often hides a lot of personal pain. The filing confirmed their 19-year marriage was officially over. For the public, it was a huge shock. But for Nicole, sources claimed it was complete devastation. Multiple insiders reported that the actress was blindsided and felt betrayed. A source told people that Kidman didn't want this and had been fighting to save the marriage. Another insider claimed that it was actually Urban who wanted the separation, telling Kidman he wasn't happy in the marriage anymore. According to sources cited in Cosmopolitan, the pain went beyond just the end of her marriage. It was a feeling of being left in the dark by people she thought she could trust. Reports emerged suggesting that Urban's alleged distance hadn't been a secret to his inner circle. One source claimed that looking back, Nicole could see the signs, the awkward silences, the inside jokes she wasn't a part of. She thought they were her friends too, the source said. Now she feels betrayed by the whole world Keith came from. Whether that's true or not, this story painted a picture of a woman feeling totally alone, shocked not just by her husband's actions, but by the silence of those around them. So what has happened since the papers were filed, and has any new evidence come out? Before we get into all that, take a second to subscribe to our channel. If you want the real story behind the headlines, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. In the weeks after the divorce filing, everyone was watching to see what would happen next. Attention immediately turned to their two daughters, and the couple has remained focused on keeping things as civil as possible for their family. Sources close to Kidman described her as being incredibly hurt, but also resilient. An insider told people she isn't the type to dwell on regrets, and is putting her energy into her family and her work. Meanwhile, Urban continued his world tour, a move that some saw as professional dedication, while others viewed it as being cold and detached from the crisis at home. So let's get back to the main question. Did Nicole Kidman actually catch Keith Urban cheating? The legal documents don't mention anything about infidelity. There's been no definitive public proof, no smoking gun, and no confirmed admission. However, it's hard to ignore the story being told by numerous insider reports. Sources have repeatedly claimed that Urban had checked out of the marriage and that another woman was involved. One source even stated bluntly, it wasn't about distance, schedules, or bad habits. It was about another woman, and Nicole knows who she is. These reports, combined with the claims that Kidman felt blindsided and betrayed, create a compelling, though still unproven, picture of infidelity being a major factor in the split. Of course, other sources suggest the problems were much simpler, caused by the sheer weight of two massive careers pulling them in opposite directions. They may have just drifted apart until the intimacy was gone, and they were simply going through the motions. What we're left with are two different stories. On one hand, you have the public record, a nearly 20-year marriage that ended with the quiet, dignified explanation of irreconcilable differences. On the other, you have a behind-the-scenes drama, pieced together from anonymous sources and insider whispers, of late-night secrets, a blindsided wife, and a devastating betrayal. We see the fairy tale romance that captivated everyone for years, one that started with a chance meeting and survived addiction and fame. And we also see the painful end, marked by reports of separate homes and a wife trying to save a marriage her husband had already left. Was this a fairy tale that just ran its course? Or was it a nearly 20-year performance, hiding secrets that are only now starting to come out? What do you think is the real story behind Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's split? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you want more stories that go beyond the headlines. And for all the latest celebrity news and deep dives, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.